I saw the end of Oak Street, and it was a time. I wasn't originally planning on seeing this because I saw the previews and I thought it looked dumb, but then I found out it was directed by David Robert Mitchell, the guy who worked on the great classic horror flick from 2014, It Follows. His next project was the extremely underrated Under the Silver Lake, which may or may not be a Riley top 25 movies of all time. I don't know, it's close. Surely got to be in the top 50, so definitely a favorite of mine, one of the best films of the 2010s. One that is super weird and interesting and different, but also unfortunately a total box office failure. A24 didn't have any faith in it and barely put it out there for people to see. There's also a popular theory that due to the content of the film, DRM was essentially blacklisted by major powers in filmmaking. There's no proof of this, but based on the way the film portrays the inner workings of Hollywood and the weirdos in the industry, it wouldn't be that surprising to me, especially given it was kind of right about some of the exploitation and strange cult-like behavior displayed by many elites in the entertainment world. Anyways, whether you believe the dude just got stuck in development hell or not, this new film here feels like a total spite piece. Like bro said, okay, fine, they want me to play it safe, I'll play it safe. I'm filling this shit with all the trends that people just fucking eat up. 80s kids, sometimes they ride their bikes, dinosaurs, dog movie, time travel, white nuclear family with husband and wife played by extremely likable actors Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. This movie is Stephen King and Steven Spielberg porn. It is trying to be an accessible Hollywood big-time movie in almost every way. It is as traditional as a big movie can get. I know I'm saying this and you're probably thinking, Riley, this sounds kind of dull and lifeless and derivative of shit we've been seeing for years now, and I think it would be if the movie wasn't pretty self-aware about that. I watched this as a comedy. My wife and I in that theater may have been the only people who thought it was a comedy and could tell the film was not trying to be some hyper-serious drama. I could not take this movie seriously whatsoever, but I didn't run into issues with that because luckily I don't think it really wants or needs you to. It is enjoyable and entertaining regardless of how serious it may or may not be. There are certain scenes that indicated to me that this is supposed to just be a silly time. It almost makes fun of itself a lot, whether that's how they handled the dialogue or the story or just the overall presentation. Anytime someone was getting chased or eaten by a dinosaur, I thought it was hilarious. There's some bonkers moments in here that have to be punchlines. They just have to be. We were locked in the whole time, eating that shit up too. Deadass, this is how we looked right here. You should have seen the old people in the seats next to us, though. You would have thought they were watching a war movie. Let it be known, this is not a so bad that it's good movie like War of the Worlds or Madam Web. I don't want to portray it that way. This is a competent film that seems to acknowledge its silly premise and the genre it's trying to do. The more it leaned into its campiness, the better I thought it was. And I don't know if I'd be giving the film the kind of credit that I am if I didn't know the director and his work already. I can't speak much to the look of the film. I think it was fine. I was kind of distracted the entire time because the theater I went to see this at had like a blue hue to everything. First time going to AMC Livonia 20, I'm going to give it one more try after this, and if not, I'm not going back there. Might have just been that screen. Even when a new trailer would come on, every time I was like,
why are you blue?
When you're playing around in dumbness so much, it's hard because sometimes you do need to take the movie seriously, and most of the time the dumbness didn't overshadow that, but it does sometimes. For that reason, I didn't love the ending. It's extra stupid, and in a less self-aware way than the rest of the story, if you get what I mean. I wasn't gonna do spoilers because it seems like that would be a waste of time, but I want to talk about it, so here's your warning. So Ewan McGregor gets eaten by a T-Rex type dinosaur. Hysterical sequence, by the way. That whole few minutes with him knocking out a giant dinosaur with a sledgehammer, the fake out rescue, the shock of seeing his entire leg just get eviscerated, the way Anne Hathaway stands there for a solid fucking hour before walking away in distress. 10 out of 10. Shocking, delicious absurdity. Anyways, they get thrown back into an alternate timeline by jumping through a convenient portal, and Anne Hathaway calls alternate timeline Ewan McGregor so they can reunite as a family. The neighborhood gets teleported again, and then we find out she also called the neighbors at the phone booth so they could evacuate. Dumb that you're trying to convince me that they would even listen to her in the first place, but whatever. My question here is, what the fuck happened to the alternate version of yourselves? We know the rest of that family exists too, because at the end, there are two of the orphan girl. Well, I guess she's not an orphan anymore because now she's got alternate universe parents. Well, maybe, no, she's still orphan because she's right. There's two of her. You see her at the barbecue. Did you just let yourselves get transported and eaten? That's fucked up. You stole their Ewan McGregor and then you let them die. There's like no questioning of that either in the film at all. Like none of the characters are like, shit, should we have done that? I thought kind of that's what the movie was going to do, is that they were going to address that but they didn't, because you got to have the big sappy ending for this kind of film. I hate that dopey cliche at the end where a character is revealed to have written a book now about the whole events that just carried out, and it's titled after the movie. That might just be a me thing. Anyways, see this if you're down for a non-taxing, over-the-top experience. We were entertained. We had fun. This movie is very stupid, but also a good time. It's a nice little homage to the pulpy action-adventure sci-fi classics we all grew up on. 7 out of 10 if I'm in a good mood, but it's more like a 6 out of 10 if I'm trying to be as objective as possible. Thanks for watching. I want a YouTube plaque one day, so help me out. Subscribe. Bye-bye.